What's up guys, and welcome to another exciting tutorial. Today we are going to create that 3D photo camera effect. So this is probably going to be the first touch points using the 3D camera in After Effects. And the 3D camera is super cool. You probably already have created one if you have tracked a shot. So the 3D camera is actually recreating your camera motion. This is also a 3D camera for sure, but we are going to create our own 3D camera and also keyframing the 3D camera. So this effect is great to get started to start understanding the parameters and also how the 3D camera works. And it's also a pretty strong visual and engaging effect to bring photos to life. I actually used this effect in the past for music videos, like the one here for Apache 207. So that's pretty much the 3D photo effect. You can find this tutorial actually on my channel, on the YouTube channel. But today we're going to a slightly different version, a little bit more advanced, to add some more elements, because this video is already on my YouTube channel. If you want to create exact that effect, check it out. So pretty much we are masking different objects, different parts in the picture, and giving the subject or the masked layers different positions in the C space, and then creating a 3D camera, adding some cool particles and some text. Yes, so that's pretty much the effect, which is pretty cool because you can bring photos to life and tell a story with that. I think that's super cool, super nice. And today I had a different idea. Usually I just wanted to recreate that effect and show you some more extras, but then MGK came up a couple of days ago, to be exact 1 week ago from today, and he announced that he actually tattooed his upper body completely black, covering his old tattoos, and also dropped the song Don't Let Me Go, which I think is a total banger. It's so emotional. I don't know the last time a song hit me that hard. Not because I can relate to his life, because his life is crazy, man, but I can just feel his feelings. And I think that song is a total masterpiece. I think that's a tragic moment, not in a negative way, because he goes to so much that he actually decides to cover his body black. So I thought, let's take this and let's create a nice, cool video, because he gets so much hate in the comments, which I think is super stupid. Just let him live his life, man. Whatever he wants to do. And because he's telling the inner self to you in that song, and you go against him, like, I don't know, like call him stupid and stuff. So I want to support him. I don't know if he's ever going to see it, but I think this chance is pretty cool to create something to say, man, you got this, I'm gonna support you, because I love his music. I don't know him in person, but I think that's a pretty cool way to use that effect. So we are going to also add some lyrics, what he's saying. I had to pick a photo. So he did actually uploaded a photo on his channel as well. So I think there are two options for a good photo of him. So the first thing is always finding the right photo. Of course, you want to edit. And in my case right now, I have that option, but this option is cool, but has no depth at all. And his tattoo guy named Rox, props to him, credits to the photo, took this photo. I think that's way better to work with, because as you've seen here in that example, we need some depth in C space. So we need something going on so we can actually make this effect look cool, have a kind of a parallax where the layers, scale differently because they're in different positions in C space. So yes, I thought this one could be a better option. So I grabbed this photo, just threw it into Photoshop, and I pretty much just extended that photo. So that's the original. Here you have the original, that was original, and I pretty much just extended that photo. I'm just going to show you in a second how I did it. So let's open that photo in a new tab so I can show you how you can do it for your photo. How did I extend this photo? I just dropped it in, and then I choose the crop tool here, like this one, and you can just go in here and crop the photo to whatever size you want. You can define the size up here, you can put in the pixel, or you can put in the ratio you want. And as soon as you have cropped that picture to the size you want, you can just press enter and you have the generative expand. And it's just going to expand the picture and fill it. So after I did this step, I had this result, which was already okay, but not what I was looking for. So I decided to create some other backgrounds. So I came up with this one at the end. I think this one looks pretty cool. Yeah, so I pretty much just mask out our talent, which you can see here. I just mask it out him, and then I just draw a selection around him and just put in generative fill and removed the background. And then I had a couple of different options, and then I choose that option. We now need pretty much 2 files to work in After Effects to create this animation. So first of all, we need our talent just solo. So we just cut him out and save it as a Photoshop file. So just go up to Command-Shift-S and you save it as a format Photoshop file in your folder. And then what you also want to do is you want to create a clean background, which I did here with a stamp. Here you can see I just stamped him away with the clone stamp here. So yeah, that's pretty basic. You can also just draw around the talent a selection and just use generative fill, and it's going to magically make your talent disappear. But basically whatever workflow works for you, it's important to first of all select the photo, the cool photo which you want to edit. Next step is separating the talent, your subject, from the background, and creating for the background clean plate, removing your talent so we can clean animate both layers. So these are basically the steps you need to know when you get started. If you have more questions or want that in deeper tutorial, you can just go onto my channel, and here I have a YouTube video explaining that effect, and here I go deeper into the Photoshop process, like a little bit deeper, but it's not something crazy. But if you have some more questions, it could make sense to check out this video, and you can just go ahead with it. So if we have these 2 layers, we can open up After Effects. And in After Effects, just threw in my song pretty much, because I want to use the song and actually have the song playing in the background, and also want to add some lyrics. So
when the music stops and the character that I've been playing is really just broken and fucking lost. I swear I've been telling you over and over again in all of these songs, but they don't hear nothing I'm writing, cause they're too busy trying to write me off. And they go on and on and on. Who am I when
So I think that's a pretty cool loop. I'm going to save my project. So I just open up After Effects, drag in a song, make sure you're saving it. So I also already have created that folder. Going to call this 3D Camera MGK and save it. Perfect. Now let's import our 2 layers we have created. First of all, I want that MGK solo, which I have MGK just cut it out. And I also want to import that clean plate. Both you have already created if you're at this point of the tutorial. Perfect. So throw them in, and now let's create a new composition. So here you can decide if you want to create a horizontal video, which is 16:9 aspect ratio, or you want to create a vertical video for social media, which is 9:16. I'm going for a 9:16 video because I want to post it on Instagram. So I'm going for 4K here, which is 2160 times 3840. For the duration, I think 25 is fine. I don't know how long that exact path is I've selected. So let's call this one main comp. So we have a comp to work in. Boom. Nice. All right. And here I want to create a folder which is called PSD and one which is called music, because I know this one is going to get really, really messy if I don't start structuring the project right away. So now in here, the song, you can just select by dragging in the ends, like the in and out points. and then just drag in that song. And okay, so
Well, my when the music stops, and the character that I've been playing is really just broken and fucking lost. I swear I've been telling you over and over again in all of these songs, but they don't hear nothing I'm writing cause they're too busy trying to write me off, and they go on and on and on.
all right, cool. So now I can drag the slider to the end. With holding shift, it's going to snap to the end, and with Command Shift X, I'm like changing the duration of the composition. Nice. So let's now bring in our layers, the Photoshop layers we have created, and you will see we have some more space left at the end and at the beginning, which is pretty cool because we are going to move a little bit with the camera. So let's see if this is working like we want to. I think we have to split actually the background here. Let's solo the background because we are moving now stuff in 3D space. And let's open up the second view. If you don't see the second view like I do right now, make sure you reset everything. And now we are going to create a new camera. First of all, I'm going to have a 2-noded camera and everything works for me. Okay, it's not affecting 2D layers. That's totally fine. So we are making those 2 Photoshop layers, now 3D layers. Now we can open up the second view, and now we have here that right view of the camera, which is pretty helpful. And we can see these both layers, they are at the same C space. And now if you move it forward, like now, like I just did, it's covering our talent because it's placed in C space. So because that layer is in front of our talent right now, we cannot see the talent anymore. And if you move it back, boom, that's how we can define the area in C space where we want to place our talent and where we want to place our background. Yes, so I'm now scaling down the talent a little bit. So now we have them placed in different C space. So you see here, that's the background and that's our talent. You can see here, oh, you see, here's the camera. So there's some space between it. And if we move the camera now, let's open up the options here. Transform options, and if we move the camera here, you see you can see the background moves with it, and also the floor, which we don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split that clean background, Command D, and now I call this one top and the other one bottom. Well, I actually let's create the mask first and turn off the subject layer and create a mask around the bottom, somewhere around here. I think that matches good. Now we can duplicate that layer here and call this one top and just invert that mask. So bring up the mask options here with M and invert it. And now we have that clean cut exactly at the same position. And for the bottom layer now, we are going to move this one a little bit more forward. Let's turn on MGK and let's see where he is. So he is here. The bottom layer, like the floor, we want to move a little bit further here, like something like that. Pretty close, which is nice. So it's not randomly moving, but actually we should move it somewhere here in space. And now the background, the top part, we can just increase in size and to make it look cool. So now if we move the camera, you can see he sticks more to the floor because we have the floor placed right next to him. But now I think we should even place the floor like really close to him, and maybe we can also change that mask and put a little bit more up, something like that, but make sure it's not covering him. So that's good. So we place it right next to him, and you have to make sure you do exactly the same to your footage. So if you're having different layers, make sure to select and isolate all of them. Imagine here is a tree and it's a little bit behind our talent. You should mask out the tree and try to reposition all the isolated layer with a logical distance to our subject and to the background. So if we move the camera, everything is moving in the right way and scaling in the right way. So now you see the floor scales with MGK, which is totally right because this is natural, right? The floor should stick to our talent, and the background here, because it's further in the back, the background, it's moving clearly at a different speed or scaling at a different speed. So I think we can drag this one a little bit more down, and we should also go in here and open that mask option for both, and we should feather the mask as well. Let's say around 60 is good, like that. All right. So if we now press play, nothing is going to happen because we haven't animated the camera yet. We have just created the camera, and of course we see it moving, but we have not animated anything. So we are going to do this in a second, but let's increase maybe the bottom scale also a little bit, but not the scale, but the mask. Okay, yeah, the mask is not correct. So make sure the mask is correct. Top one as well. Okay, nice. Now let's see if it works. So if we move the camera forward and backwards, so that's the max we can go back. Let's make a keyframe here for the position and the point of interest, and let's go forward in time, maybe to 3 seconds. And in that time, we want to come really close to MGK, to our talent. So yeah. Okay, nice. So, wait, what just happened? Okay, I just closed the comp. So I have to do the keyframes again. So at the beginning, we want to be really far out. Something like that. And here at 3 seconds, we want to be really close to him. Yes. Okay, nice. So we have our first camera. Nice. I think that's already looking pretty cool. So that's how you animate pretty much that whole thing. So now we're going to make it look really cool. So we can, first thing we can do is we can move the keyframes here, ease out and ease in. So you have smooth keyframes here. And now we could, for example, move around with the camera going here. So you can see we can move around here in different perspectives. So the point of interest is actually affecting, as you can see here, the way the camera is looking. Like that's the point of interest. And the position is pretty much the position. You know, if you have a camera, like a real camera, you can like point at things and tilt it, for example, and rotate it without changing the position, right? So that's pretty much the point of interest. So where you're pointing the camera at. Plus you have the position. So you will get both of these if you have a 2-noded camera. And the position is pretty much the same if you're holding your camera. You change your position, you can also change the point of interest. So that's, yeah, I think the most easy way to explain point of interest and position. And it takes some time to get used to it. But as soon as you get used to it, it's really fun to play around with it. So we could also say that at the beginning, we want to start to kick in like that. Which can be cooler. That's cool. I think that's pretty nice. We can also add, for example, to make it look more interesting, a rotation, like a C rotation. So let's say at the end, we want to like be at 0, like 100% clean. I want to start the animation kicking off with a tilt. That's pretty cool. And let's say if we start plus 15, I want to end at minus 5, for example.
and the character that I've been playing.
Yes.
Who am I when the music stops? And the character that I've been playing.
That's pretty cool. Let's leave that like that for now. We can also go, of course, in the speed graph. So if you have that keyframes selected, just go here into the speed graph. If you don't see the speed graph, you can go in here, probably looks like that. And now just right click it and choose speed graph. Boom.
Who am I when the music stops? And the character that.
And this can make the whole camera motion look really natural. So let's go into the speed graph for the position and the point of interest as well, and draw this type of graph like I have here. So it comes in,
Music stops, and the character that I've been.
well, maybe not too much. So maybe increase it just a little bit. And yeah, we'll play around with details later. It's